Okay, so today we're going to be looking at how we can do some list cleaning and list hygiene to affect the open rates of our emails. So, when we're discussing open rates, people always think about how we can improve our open rates by crafting better messages, better subject lines, etc. But what you tend to find is low open rates can often be attributed to poor list hygiene. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you have contacts in your MailChimp account who are not responding to your emails and don't respond to any of your emails. So they never open an email and they certainly never click an email. In fact, you could argue that there's nobody at the other end listening. Perhaps that email address is no longer in use. Perhaps it's a business email address and that employee has moved on to another company. There's statistics that show people are changing their email addresses quite often, much more than you might think. So, if somebody has an email address 6 months, 12 months down the road, that might not be their main email address anymore. And if you're still pinging it with emails, you're not going to get any results. There's nobody at the other end listening to you or paying any attention to your emails. And there's a number of reasons why this isn't a good thing for you. You might think, well, so what? Can keep hitting those people with emails. What difference does it make? Well, it does make a difference on 3 levels. The first one is reporting. So when you look at your results, you look at your open rates and your click rates, and you're trying to determine how successful your campaign has been, and you see that you have low open rates and low click rates, that might not be due to anything more than having a lot of people in your list who are just unresponsive to your message. So that's one reason why you want to clean up your list periodically, is because your results get affected by having a bad list that's poorly maintained and never cleaned up. It gives you inaccurate results, and you can base decisions on those results, and really you're not doing yourself any favor, because those results are being manipulated by having poor and bad emails in your list. Second reason is if somebody receives your emails and they don't open them, they don't interact with them, maybe they immediately hit delete before they've even bothered to open them. Email service providers like Gmail and Yahoo, etc., they're watching their users, and they're gathering masses of data on the emails that come into their users' inboxes and what their user does with them. So if the user is just routinely sending your emails to trash without even bothering to open them, the email service providers are noticing this. They're noticing who is sending that email. Does the user consistently send it to trash without even paying attention to it? And if so, why is this user being sent these emails that they obviously don't want to be receiving and have no interest in? And that can harm your deliverability, because that email service providers can be watching for emails that come from you in the future. And it may say, these emails coming to my users are just not well received, and therefore I'm going to, kind of blacklist this sender. I'm going to make it more difficult for them to get past my spam filters, because I don't know if they're sending legitimate and necessary emails to my users. Perhaps they're spamming them. So that's another reason why you don't want to just keep sending emails to people who are unresponsive on your list, because ESPs are watching those emails come in. They're seeing there's no response to you sending in emails, and that's bad news for you. The third reason is cost. So with MailChimp, users, we are, unless we're on the forever free plan, we are charged on a per user basis. So MailChimp's pricing plans are largely based around the number of subscribers that you have in your account. So if you have 5,000 subscribers, you're going to pay more than if you have 15,000 subscribers. So if you have subscribers in your list who are not listening to you, they're not paying any attention, you've sent them a dozen emails and they haven't opened a single email, understand that these recipients are unlikely to respond to any of the emails that you send to them in the future. Whatever it is that you're sending to them is not getting through to them. They either don't need to hear about your product any longer, they don't want to hear about it, maybe there's nobody at the end checking that inbox anymore, perhaps they've put it aside and got a new email address with somebody else. And you are just paying for that user to sit in your list, and they are not of any help to you. They're not going to open your email. They're not going to sign up for your product or service because they're not listening to you. So why not focus your efforts on the people who are responding to your emails, the ones who engage with you, who you can have a conversation with, who you can reach out to and expect them to reciprocate in some way, whether it's just opening the email, whether it's clicking it, whether it's eventually making a purchase or a download from you, whatever your call to action is. Why not focus on those people and have a quality list with results that reflect the quality of your subscribers, and where you are getting a response in the user recipient's inbox, so the email service provider sees that you're offering value to its users. So in light of those three facts, what we're going to look at here is how to easily determine who is responding to your emails and who could potentially be nothing more than taking up valuable space and skewing your email campaign results. So I've only got 4 subscribers in my little list here, but I'm going to show you how we can use segments to show us quite easily who's being responsive to our emails and who isn't, and then what we can do with those people who are unresponsive. The frequency with which you need to do these kinds of exercises just depends on your business and how often you email your customers, how your sales process works. If you've got a short sales process, then maybe you don't need to go too far back to see who's responding to your emails before you kick them out. Maybe they don't need to respond to any of the last 5 emails you've sent them. But maybe if your sales process is long, maybe it takes you a year to convert your average customer, maybe you want to look back at 2 years worth of data before you kick somebody out of your list, because it just takes a long time for those people to come around and make a purchase from you. So think about how long a user is going to take typically to make a purchase from you. How long is that sales process? How many emails do you think you need to send out to them before that you're likely to elicit a purchase or some kind of response from them that you need? And then use that information to determine how you're going to take this technique I'm about to show you and apply it to your own business and business model. So I'm here in my audience, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here for a new segment. And what we're going to do is we're going to segment based on this particular field here, campaign activity. So I'm going to click that, and this is essentially, a segment is really just a filter based on certain data that MailChimp has about your subscribers. And we've selected campaign activity, and in this second drop down, we've got various actions or inactions that the recipient may have taken towards your emails. So did they open emails, click them? Were they sent emails? Did they not open emails? Did they not click emails? Were they not sent particular emails? And let's just pretend that I want to, I've got quite a short sales process, and I want to just look back and see if somebody didn't open the last 5 emails that I sent to them, then these people, in my experience, are not going to purchase from me. Like, my purchases happen very quickly, or they don't really happen at all. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to select this option here, was sent, and then I'm going to go to the third drop down, and I want to say, okay, I want to see who was sent all of the last 5 email campaigns. So the first part of this segment is asking MailChimp, hey, in this list, this audience, who has been sent all of the last 5 email campaigns that I've sent out? Then I'm going to add a second condition. Again, it's going to be campaign activity. And this time I'm going to say, did not open any of the last 5 campaigns. So what I've done here is I've said, okay, out of all the subscribers in this audience, who did not open any of the last 5 emails that I sent to them? So they could have opened 1 or 2 of them, or 3 of them, 4 of them, but if they didn't open even just 1 of them, I want to know who they are. The other important thing is that this first drop-down, contacts match all of the following conditions. That can be all, or it can be any, depending on how you're creating a segment. I have it on all. That's because I want to know everybody who was sent all of the last 5 emails, and out of those people, who did not open even just 1 of those emails. So I applied 2 conditions here. And all I would do at this point is click to preview the segment, and it will give me a list of those people. Now, I don't have many people in my list, so I'm getting nobody matching my selection. However, if I did, I would see who has not responded to the last 5 emails that I sent out. They didn't open them, they didn't click them, they just appeared, they just went to their inbox, but nothing happened. And I'm going to look at those people and think, well, in my experience, if by the 5th email they haven't bought from me, then they're not likely to, and I want to get rid of them out of my list. Well, let's just say that this is the final segment here. If I wanted to remove those people, I could select them all one by one, or I could use the select all button, which is usually up here in the left corner. I've only got 4 contacts, so it's not giving me them. But you could select them all. You could go to actions, and you could remove the contacts. If you choose to remove them, which is really deleting them, you're presented with 2 options from MailChimp. The first is to archive. So with an archive, your contacts are taken away out of your list. They're put into an archive list, but they're not lost. They are kept there. You can't email them. You can take them out of archive at any time and put them back into your list, but they're taken out of your audience. You don't pay for them, but they're maintained and saved. Their profile's saved, and their activity data and campaign data is saved, and it's still available in your campaign reports. But they're taken out of your list. You won't be emailing them again. You won't be paying for archived contacts, but they'll be still available to you. This is a great way to clean up your list, reduce the size of your list, but still have access to those people if it's sometime you ever need them. You can choose permanently delete, but this just removes all the contacts and their information from your audience, and you cannot put them back into the audience. So this is a much more final course of action, and if you do this one, MailChimp requires you to type the word delete into this box to confirm that you understand and agree with what you're about to do. So I would suggest you go with archive. This is a safer, less final way to remove your contacts from your audience, but it achieves the same goal. It gets them out of your list, it cleans up your list, it takes away people who are being unreceptive to your emails, who are unlikely to ever be receptive, who are just clouding up your data and your reports, who are being watched by email service providers like Gmail and Yahoo, who see them not responding to your emails, which hurts you. And it also cuts down on your costs because MailChimp does not charge you for archived contacts. So this is a great way to do some simple, easy list hygiene. All you have to think about is what are the parameters for those filters in those conditions in your segment. How far, which of those particular filters do you use? Do you go and look at the last 5 campaigns, the last 15 campaigns? Do you use a time-based parameter such as all the campaigns that have been sent out in the last month? I have some of those for you to look at and use. So choose what you think would be a reasonable amount of time to have passed before for somebody to have interacted with your email, for you to consider that a worthwhile contact to invest any more time and money in, or whether you think that those people are unlikely to ever pay attention to your emails. You've sent them 30 campaigns, they haven't looked at any of them, they haven't opened anything, they certainly haven't clicked. Those people probably should go. They're just clogging up your MailChimp account and causing you problems. So that's a quick and easy way to do some list hygiene on your account. It's something you should consider doing if you haven't done that and you've been using your MailChimp account for a while. You can always just take a look at the segments and carry out these steps here just so you can see what I'm talking about, and maybe you'll be surprised at the information that you pull up in your MailChimp account. But that's how you can do some simple list hygiene to improve your rates, make more accurate data in your reports, improve your open rates, and improve your chances of future deliverability to the other email addresses in your account.